Alright, here we go. I'm gonna do a little update on our yard here. We've got tons of stuff growing, just growing like weeds. It's pretty amazing. These are all our boards for our in-ground greenhouse. I'll show you guys here in a minute. Everything's kind of a mess. We've got a lot of work to do over the summer. These are all my seedlings I need to get planted over the next couple days. Got eggplant, all kinds of stuff. Lavender, rosemary. I'm gonna try some cotton plants back here. We'll see if we get any. Usually don't have a long enough season for that, but got lots of parsley, some chervil, got all kinds of different basils here, which are pretty nice. Some fennels, sage, got some milkweeds here, hoping to attract some monarchs. We'll see. We got a couple last year, not too many though. Here's a bunch of tomatoes and peppers, which I just cut them back probably 2 weeks ago to help them bush out a little bit. Got my lettuce beds, nasturtiums, dahlias, got some amaranth there that really needs to get into the ground. Lots of chamomile. I do a lot of chamomile tea, some stevia, sage, milkweed there. Got some bolting spinach. Here's some nettle and some lupin, sunflowers, borage, toothache plant, which actually works. I get a lot of toothaches and it numbs your mouth. Some great burdock. This is marshmallow. Some salad burnet. Got all kinds of stuff here. Thyme in there. So here's our kiwi bed. We've got some hardy kiwis here. They took about 5 pretty hard hits this spring and just came back raring to go. Some garlic and oregano planted in front of them. Tyler's got his poppies here. He's pretty much in love with poppies. So having a bit of a slug issue, so we've got our slug trap set out here. A bunch of beer. Got some purple thistle hiding back here, which almost got killed by the slugs, but we persevered, set some traps, and got them. So, I went out of focus here for some reason. There we go. Yeah, there's that. This will be turning into a dog kennel for Trinity here eventually. For now, we've got it laid with boards to keep the weeds down. That's our big piece of 4x8 glass we're going to put on the front of our greenhouse. We've got a really awesome ginkgo grouping here that we got from a local nursery. Got lucky, got it half off at their half off sale. I've got some saffron crocus planted in here. It's dying off for the summer. It's been pretty hot over the past few days, so they're dying off. I'm going to mulch that. Lilies, some comfrey back there, and to the wood family, here's our really awesome, beautiful Circle P Ranch irises. This one's just now opening up. They came back really strong, planted them back here in the ginkgo bed after we tore out the lilac. So, looking good. That'll fill in pretty nice, I think, with those. Tyler's got his little, he just threw a bunch of poppy seeds out here, and this is what we ended up with. So he gets to come out here and thin that out a little bit, I think. Got a nice lilac bush here that we chopped down to the ground last year after we took this other one out. And it's coming back really strong. It was doing not very well. People hadn't been taking care of it. This is our apple tree guild, or our apple bush guild as we like to call it. This was just a big grouping, I think, of apple trees that had, gone to seed or suckered out or something, and they just let them go. So this was like, I don't know, probably 30 feet tall when we moved in. And we chopped that in half. That's what we ended up with. So it's bushing out pretty nice this year. I'm gonna let that go a little bit and trim it down again in the fall. and hopefully end up with a really nice low apple bush. I got all kinds of stuff planted in here that you can't really see because I just mulched it all with leaves after we pruned some of our trees. But got a bunch of different stuff in here. Let's see, here's our, we're gonna put a pond there. Since we had the excavator, we decided to go ahead and dig it out. So we're gonna have a hole in our yard probably for another year or two. But didn't want to rent an excavator again to do it, and really didn't want to dig it out by hand. So this is our blackberry bed. These are Maryland strawberries. Maryland Weil, thank you very much. I've got some really nice fat strawberries coming on there. Looking awesome. They spread out. They did great. I've got them all over the yard. They're amazing. Love them. So I've got some more lilies there, a big old comfrey plant. Blackberries are doing really well. They're shooting up some really strong shoots. And this is on a hugel swale, which we dug a swale and then we filled it with wood and organic debris, and then backfilled it with dirt. So there's a lot of organic matter and there's wood in the pile to facilitate keeping moisture in the ground for it. We had some passion flowers that were growing on these arbors here, and they don't look like they're coming back this year, which is surprising because passion flower is supposed to be really hardy. I've got another hugel swale here full of garlic. There's some lavenders there. There's a really nice lupin down there at the end. Some lilies. This is over here. This is a contorted chestnut, which we got from Sistis Nursery up in Oregon, I think. It's around Portland. So that'll be pretty cool. That's second year growth. We've got blueberries lined in here that I got on a deep discount last year. They came back really strong. It's awesome. So here's the kale plants I planted about, 3 weeks ago. They're getting hit pretty hard with the slugs. So I watered heavy tonight. I'm going to fertilize everything, and then I'm going to put out a bunch of diatomaceous earth once stuff kind of dries up. Yeah, they're not doing so hot with the slugs. So, a bunch of radishes. The lupin just is pretty amazing, actually. I had one back here, but it got hit so hard with slugs early on that it just died off, unfortunately. So, we've got a huge mound of dirt from our greenhouse and a brand new planted succulent hanging pot, which I really like. Some angelica here. You can candy the stems when they're younger. I'm letting it go to seed. Got lots of ladybugs around it, so very nice. Some mint planted around it. Here's our other blueberry bed. This is a sunken bed. We sunk wood and organic matter and backfilled it with some nice compost and dirt and stuff. Blueberries are looking really nice. So I did a blueberry bed in the shade, basically. It's under the apricot tree here. And then I did some kind of more out in the sun. And I want to see what does better, because I get a lot of conflicting information on that. Some people say they like full sun, some people say they like a little bit of shade, so we'll see which does better. They're all doing really well right now. Got a huge strawberry bed. Some of these are from Maryland, from Oklahoma, and some of these are from up by Crouch, up in the mountains, kind of, in the woods. I just grabbed a bunch of, there's a lot of wild strawberries up there, and just grabbed a bunch of tiny strawberries and germinated the seeds, grew them out and planted them. They're really good. They're small, but they're super tasty. Got some more angelica there, some garlic, strawberries, some blue hyssop here, which has really awesome blue flowers for the bees. We've got a sea berry, which we got a few berries last year, amazingly enough. They were really good. We had a fig tree and a pawpaw planted in there with it, but they died off over the winter. We had a really harsh winter. And the fig was kind of iffy anyways, so I'm not very surprised that it died. Some lamb's ear. Got a bunch of gold alyssum, some more strawberries, some goldenrod right there. Chives, lots of chives everywhere. This is some narrowleaf verbinia that I brought from Oklahoma. Does really well. Some more comfrey there. Strawberries. This is our peach tree, which is doing really amazing. It's probably the best performer out of our yard right now. And an autumn olive. Got a little pawpaw there. And my persimmon tree hasn't leafed out yet. It leafed out a little bit, and then it got hit with the frost, and I think it scared it. So it's holding back, but we've got some really hot days here, so it should be coming out here pretty soon. Some more lamb's ear and garlic back there. This is sage. It flowered like crazy this spring, which is really amazing. It smells awesome. Love it. Got oregano, some chives, some more blue hyssop, some lilies back there. That's a honeyberry right there. And here we have our almond tree in this guild. So we've got an almond, there's a seaberry behind it, and a pawpaw on the other side. The pawpaws are planted behind because the first few years you're supposed to kind of protect them from the harsh sun. They don't like it. So I don't know if that's really gonna do that well behind this almond tree, but we'll see. I might have to replant it somewhere else. So we've got that. Here's our apricot tree. We've got a big old maple grouping there, which is really nice for shade in this hot summer Idaho sun. We've got, I'll go around to the other side here. So this is our grape trellising here. Got a grape arbors, which they're coming back super strong, super awesome. Got little spears already. Got a bluebeard there for the bees, some honeyberry, which I already showed you, a bunch of garlic in this bush, or this hugel mound too. This is mugwort there. And here we've got currant bushes, honeyberry. There's a lavender hiding back there, right there. And I've got everything seeded with clover, and I cut it down when I plant stuff and releases nitrogen into the soil. Some more currants and honeyberries. Here's this kind of my bush mound here. That didn't sound very good. Alright, here's my apricot tree that got hit really hard this spring. I think it's because it was kind of out here in the wind, in the open area. So it's coming back, but it got hit pretty hard. And so did the cherry tree behind it. It's not doing too well. So we'll see how those do. The problem with that is the leader on this died. So there's no more upward growth right now. So it's all sideways growth basically. But we might be able to chop one of these and get an upward leader there for us. Here's another seaberry. I've got 3 seaberries, 1 male, 2 females that are doing really amazing. They were about a foot tall when we got them last spring, and I'd say that's about 6 feet now, a little over. Our comfrey bushes are ridiculous. I had no idea they got that big, but they do apparently. Some more strawberries. We've got a hazelnut there, gumi, and a jube, which it's just starting to leaf out at the bottom. It did not like this cold spring we had. Some more comfrey. Got lots of little strawberry patches everywhere. Some golden melissum. Here's another almond tree. You gotta have 2 for pollination, so I've got 2 almond trees here. Here's another hazelnut for pollination, and our other cherry tree back there. It's doing really amazing. We've got a goji, lots of little strawberry patches. A goji, a gumi, and the other jube is hiding back there. You can't really see it though. Another angelica. Got angelica everywhere too. So Here we have our horseradish on the back mound here. We had a lot of more annual stuff planted back here, but we kind of buried it with our greenhouse, so we'll have to replant that probably when we're done. And then over here we just have some garlic, some elderberry bushes that are coming back, which is great. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it here. Just a jungle back here. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to show you the greenhouse real quick before we run out of light here. We rented an excavator for about 300 bucks, brought it in for one day, and excavated all that. That's about 8 feet deep right there in that one. It's a little more shallow because we've been throwing dirt out of that into this, because it collapsed, that wall collapsed a little bit over the winter with all that heavy rain and stuff. It did not flood out. This is basically riverbed down there, so it drained right through. No flooding, no puddling, nothing. It was amazing, which we're really lucky. Got 2 apple trees back there. So what this is this is a cold sink, and this is going to be just a little 2-foot cold sink right there for the warm air or the cold air to come in, and it'll sink down and it'll push the warm air back up, so it's like a convection oven in the greenhouse. This is going to be a slanted window area right here facing that way, and then the roof is going to kind of go up a little bit to the back, and the whole back side and the side, except for right here where it's going to be the door, is going to come out, but the whole back side is going to be mounded with dirt, and most of the greenhouse is going to be underground basically, with just the roof and this front area here letting the light shine in, and which is facing basically almost south directly. So we'll get pretty good light, but it keeps the heat in the wintertime,